Hello, my friends. How are you? Welcome to the channel. My name is Shaneria, and this is Talk and Crime. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button. And you guys, tip of the day, just get started. Whatever it is, just get started. You guys, let's get straight into our reaction video.
I'm sneaking out of my host family's house. I watched that 7-part story, so you don't have to. That's Ella, and she's telling us how she went to be an au pair in Italy and literally came back 4 days later. So an au pair just means like a nanny abroad. Usually like you can have an au pair in the United States that's from like Europe or vice versa. It really doesn't matter. It just means somebody that lives in-house, and for exchange of board and food, usually au pair will usually take care of your child. They'll clean the house, like light housework. Ella said, to be clear, I paid for my flights there and back. This was a work trip. It wasn't like a vacation by any stretch of the imagination. She ended up using not an agency. She didn't sign any contract. She didn't pay to be able to like advertise her services. She used this platform called Au Pair World. The host mom is actually the one that reached out to Ella, basically inquired about her services. And after Ella went on the woman's profile and was able to read what the responsibilities were, she basically told her, like, let's, move forward and see if we are a good fit. So they ended up jumping on 2 FaceTime calls. She said they went really well, and the woman just like talked a lot. So while they're on FaceTime, they also discussed what her jobs are going to be. And she tells her, you're going to be waking up the child, giving him his milk, taking him to school, picking him back up, feeding him dinner, and then cleaning up after dinner. She would get Friday afternoons along with the weekends off. And so Ella was like, yeah, I actually am really interested. The family also agreed. They were like, yeah, we think you're going to be a good fit for us. Ends up telling her job, hey, I'm leaving. She gives them a 3-week notice. And then within 2 weeks, she was literally flying to Italy to go be an au pair for this family. The initial plan was for Ella to stay with the host family for 3 months. So she gets there the first day, everything's fine. The mom picks her up, she takes her home, she unpacks, and they sit down to have lunch. Ella's first red flag was when she was just sitting there with this woman having lunch for the first time. This woman just starts ranting and venting about her job and how she hates it and how she feels like they put her at a lower position and just like all these things. She's just like unleashing on Ella, and Ella's just like, oh, okay, like I'm sorry to hear that. She just seems so unhappy with her workplace. So when they were discussing the job before Ella got there, she also told her like, hey, I'm gonna be home every night around 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'll always cook dinner for all of us. So why don't you go and get breakfast and lunch for yourself with my husband? Now that wouldn't have been a problem had her husband actually spoke English. The language barrier made it really hard for her to speak to the husband, and it was just really awkward. She was like, I wish the host mom went with me to this grocery store. While at the grocery store, the host dad and Ella were basically using Google Translate to try to communicate to one another and get everything that they needed. Obviously, it was a little hard, but they did figure it out. When they got back home, the host mom had left and went to work. The reason why the family wanted to get an au pair was because the father actually works Monday through Thursdays, and so they needed a little bit of help while the mother's working. So now it was time for them to go pick up the child from school. Now, more than likely, Ella would be walking or taking public transportation to go and pick up the child, but the father actually drove. She's like, okay, well, that's great, but how am I supposed to learn how to, get your child when you're not here? And so she's like, whatever, it's the first day. They go pick up the child. They got home from picking up the child. The host dad tried to show her how to like heat up dinner, because that would be one of her assignments. And again, language barrier, very difficult to like communicate. And then the mother was supposed to be home around 7:38. The mom ended up not coming home until 9. And when she did come home, she seemed so unhappy. And so the dad ended up actually cooking dinner that night. Everybody eats. And then the host mom is showing Ella like what she needs to be doing after dinner, like cleaning the pots, the dishes, like all of those things. And so she's like, okay, I expected this. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. She thought she was done for the night. And then the host mom's like, oh, okay, now it's time for you to like wash the child, which was completely out of her comfort zone. But Ella told us she does not like confrontation. She does not like getting into it with people. So she's like, even though this is not what we discussed, you did not tell me I was going to be giving your child baths, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So she did that, and that's when her night ended. So she wakes up the next morning, bright and early, goes to the kitchen, and the dad's already in there giving the child milk, and he's trying to again show her how to prepare the child's milk. Language barrier, can't really figure it out. The mom's again the only one that speaks English in the entire house, and so she's asleep. So she's like, okay, like I'm just going to try to figure out as much as I can. The stove is different. In different countries, appliances look different, they operate different. So she was hoping that the mother would be awake to help her, but she wasn't. By the time they went to go take the child to school, they were running late, so the dad took the car. So after they drop off the kid, they come back home. She's still a little jet lagged, so she ends up falling asleep for 2 hours. She wakes up to a text message from the host mom being like, hey, where are you? She goes into the kitchen and the mom's there. She's confused because the mom's supposed to be gone all day. And so the mom is like, hey, you should go out, like go explore the town. So she's like, okay, whatever. So she's in Milan. She decides to go out and explore. And Milan's beautiful. She loved it. She had a great time. And then when she went back to the house, of course, she felt again this like uncomfortable kind of like feeling of being trapped. When Ella got back from exploring, the host mom was gone. It was just the dad and the child. The host dad tried his best to try to show her how to make dinner, but it obviously was unsuccessful. The host mom ended up not coming home until like 9 p.m. that night. And again, Ella's just feeling unsupported, very confused, because what she was told and what is actually transpiring once she's gotten there is completely different. And so she's just like, okay, I'm starting to feel like maybe I didn't make the best decision. And now at the end of the second day, she's being asked once again to give the child a bath because she doesn't want to have any conversations with the mom. She chooses to give the child a bath once again. So the next day, Ella wakes up and she's like, absolutely not. I need to know how to use public transportation. Monday is quickly approaching and I'm going to be alone with this child and we're going to be screwed. She tells them like, hey, I need to know how to use public transportation. Show me. So the dad's like, okay, cool. So he takes her, he's trying to show her, but they're really just like sitting there looking at Google Translate on his phone. And so eventually they get the kid to school. She comes back home. So it's Friday afternoon now. She has the rest of the day off. She ends up spending some time with some girls that she knows out there. She ends up texting the host mom around 2 p.m. and being like, hey, do you need me to like, pick up the kid from school? And the mom's like, hey, don't worry about it. Like the dad's going to pick him up. You have a great day. She's like, okay, cool. She spends a few more hours with the girls and then she ends up walking back to the house. Ella ends up deciding to hang out with her friends for a little bit longer. When she got home, nobody was there. So she decides to call her parents for the first time since she landed in Italy. She had a really good conversation with them. And then when she got off the phone, she texted the host mom and was like, hey, when do you plan on being home today? Because she was expecting dinner to, again, be late, but she was like, let me just see if it's going to be late. Ella was under the impression that dinner was going to be at like 7:30, 8 o'clock every day, and they were having it closer to like 9:30, 10. And so she was just like, let me text this host mom and see if that's going to be the plan again today. So the host mom around 6 p.m. ends up responding and being like, no, I'm going to be home in 10 minutes. So she's like, okay, bet. She jumps in the shower. She comes out. The host dad and the host child are home at that point. So she goes out there. She takes her Kindle. She sits on the couch. The host dad is preparing dinner while the kid and her are like on the couch chilling. She's reading her Kindle. The mom does not come home until 9 p.m. And when she does come home, she just immediately starts yelling at Ella. She's like, why aren't you helping? Why didn't you cook dinner? Why didn't you clean? Why aren't you playing with him? Why didn't you give him a bath? Like, da-da-da-da. And Ella's sitting there and she just starts apologizing. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She's literally taken back. And she's like, I thought you told me I had the day off. Like, it is Friday afternoon. Like, I'm so sorry. She's like, I'm out here just hanging out with them. And the mom just like looks at her and she's like, you just need to pay attention, and just walks away. She's like, what the heck? After dinner, Ella asked the host mom, like, hey, where do I put this tablecloth? I haven't seen it before. And the host mom, instead of just telling her, again, she's the one that speaks English, she's like, go ask the host dad. At this point, the red flags are straight alarms. She's like, I have to figure out what the hell I'm doing here. So she wakes up the next morning. She's supposed to have a full day off. So the next day, they had told her, like, we're going to go to Portofino. You should come with us. And she's like, it's my day off, but I'm going to choose to spend it with the family. Like, I'm cool with that. The host mom tells her, we're going to leave no later than 9 a.m. Be ready. So she wakes up at 8:15 the next morning, gets dressed, and she's waiting. The mom literally wakes up a little past 9 a.m. and she's just taking her sweet time. Mind you, Portofino is like 2 hours away from where they live. So she ends up getting the baby up. She gets her dressed. The mom gets dressed. They all head out. They get to Portofino. They end up having lunch and then they hang out on the beach for 3 to 4 hours. After that, they walked around for a few. And then the mom's like, let's go to a different town. All of this is going great. But the only problem is that the parents are walking so far ahead. Like, she's being left with the baby left and right. And she's like, it's my day off. Why am I with this child? Like, they're just like off, gone. And the baby's a slow walker. So she's like, I'm going to stay back with the baby. She's pushing the stroller. She's holding the baby's hand. She's carrying the baby at times. And she's just like, okay, this is whatever. So eventually they get in the car. And while the baby is getting put into the car, somebody honks at them. And the mother, instead of getting mad at the car that honked, the host mom starts yelling at Ella. And she starts telling her, like, you need to pay attention. You need to pay attention. As the host mom is yelling at her, Ella's just like, I was with the baby the whole day. I was pushing the stroller. Like, you guys left us so many times and you just ignored me. Like, what are you even talking about? On their drive back from Portofino, Ella decided, I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore. She changes her flight right then and there. And then when she gets back to the house after sitting in traffic for so long, mind you, as they're sitting in traffic, the host mom wakes her up and she's like, you needed to help us today. You didn't help us at all. You need to start paying attention. You need to be interacting with the child. You need to be speaking to him in English and teaching him English. You need to be doing all of these things. At this point though, Ella doesn't care. She just wants to like get home from this 2-hour drive, pack her stuff and jet out of there. And then eventually they get back. She packs up all of her bags. The next morning, that's the viral video that everyone saw of her sneaking out of her host family's house. Ella did say when she safely got to the airport, she did send a message back to the host mom just so she knew what was going on. The reason why she didn't tell them that she was going to end up leaving was because she was like already feeling really uncomfortable and unsafe. And then to top it off, what the host dad did for a living was in a field that made her even more uncomfortable and feeling unsafe. So she was just like, I just don't know how she's going to take it. I don't know how she's going to react. So because of all of these factors, I'm just going to dip out in the middle of the night. I think she left at like 5 o'clock in the morning. leaving, and I'll just send them a text message, which I think is probably the best idea because this woman was like popping off at her for like a dime of a reason. So just imagine if she told her like, hey, I'm leaving. Very insane story. However, girl, I'm glad you're back in the States. I'm glad you're safe. You guys tagged me in this a bunch. I wanted to make sure I got it out to you guys. I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.
Ella girl, I would have got the heck on too. Like, first of all, I don't know if my anxiety can even take going to another country and being a nanny. First of all, I'm not going to know what to do. And if that mama spoke English, she should have been doing orientation like a regular job. She should have orientated you for about a week, maybe two, so she can know that you caught on to the situation, especially if her husband did not even speak English. What was that woman thinking? I mean, at the end of the day, she should have thought like, wait a minute, like she already don't know the routine yet. She's new. Let me pipe down and show her so my baby can have the best nanny as possible. She should have went over everything instead of spilling her personal business about work. Cause who the fuck care, bitch? I'm here to work for you. So you need to show me the ropes of what I need to be doing. You so busy telling me your story like we're gonna be best friends, baby. I'm just here to work. Amen. And then what's crazy is why was she spazzing out at the employee and thinking she was gonna stay? Because maybe the first time you spazzed out at me, I would have been booking a flight then. Because we not gonna do this. We not gonna do this. I don't know the laws over here. I don't know what you can and can't do to me. Like, we're not gonna do this at all. Like, why was you spazzing out on her and thinking she gonna stay? You need to catch up. I am, baby. You need to catch up because Saturday's supposed to be my days. And why do I got your child? Like, why? Friday afternoons, like, he should be cooking because you told me I have off. Like, what's the deal, ma'am? What's the deal? Ella, you did the right thing. We glad you back, honey. Please, please be careful because traveling to another country can cost you everything. Have you seen Lifetime? Have you seen these crazy movies on Tubi? Have you? Have you watched Netflix? Like, this stuff is real. Yeah, I think she did right. I think she did right by texting her, like, look, this not gonna work. I'm going home when she was on her way home. Cause she right, she never know what can happen. Like, Ella, just be careful. You guys, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment, join the family. I want to know what's tea. I want to hear your opinion too about these stories. Comment down below. Join the family by subscribing. You guys, have a blessed day. Peace.